the first watch, the show is part review, part reaction. Hey, guess what? We have a Patreon now that is a combination of 80s Nerdgasm, as represented here today by Mike. So this is an 80s Nerdgasm Hong Kong Cinema Appreciation Society crossover episode.
Hell yeah.
Here I am representing Hong Kong Cinema Appreciation Society. Both accounts are on the Patreon. It's patreon.com/terribleinfant. You can pay $2 a month, $3 a month, $5 a month, whatever.
More dollars a month?
You get as many dollars as you want, but it starts pretty low. That's what you're looking for. There's early release content. There's exclusive content. We are doing giveaways. What else? Well, you can, if we're like, people are basically kind of suggesting what they want to see on the different channels.
I mean, we're taking like
requests for content.
Like we're open. We like talking about movies, and we can talk about movies nonstop.
I'm gonna start doing like a little blog kind of thing where I let people know like what's coming up in the future, and maybe we can post like our editing queue, and people could say, "Hey, I want to see that. I want to see that."
Yeah.
Because we've got like 90 things in our editing
queue
or something. So
I'm trying.
Anyway, here we are with Hero Shed No Tears. This movie was directed by John Woo. It came out in 1986. It was actually shot in 1984.
Mm-hmm.
So it came out right after A Better Tomorrow, but it was made before A Better Tomorrow. It's a Golden Harvest movie, and I mean, what do you think about this movie?
It's funny that all the best movies, not only like U.S. but also Hong Kong, came out in the 80s.
All of them?
Pretty much.
All of them ever?
What
about all those Sergio Leone movies you love?
That's pretty sweet.
Those aren't the 80s?
No, but that's those are classics.
Okay.
This movie was really cool.
Eddie Ko is in it.
I've seen a few John Woo movies, and it was a bit different than what I'm kind of used to.
So this is like, I mean, for me, this is just like a straight up exploitation movie. Like, it's an exploitation war movie. The thing that reminds me most of, I don't think you've seen this movie, is Shogun Assassin, where it's like a guy who's a warrior, except he's in the 80s with a machine gun, and his kid, and there's just enemies everywhere, and it's just like nonstop murder.
Yeah, I mean, to me, it didn't feel that exploitative. In the sense, like, yes, it was violent, and yes, there's all these people dying and stuff. But, like, I've seen, like, some, like, actual, like, trash exploitation movies, and they don't even really have a plot. It's just,
it's just, like,
this had, like, a really nice plot, and it had really cool... The action scenes were really good. They fit with what I expected John Woo.
Yeah, like, John Woo actually...
I didn't see any doves, though.
His... so it's interesting, because I don't think there are any doves in here.
I don't think there are.
His original cut... Well, I'll get into this later because I'm going to do a review of the Blu-ray itself, special features and stuff like that. But you can watch the special feature on here that shows, like, there's a Korean VHS that is basically like the cut that John Woo was working on. And then there's this version, which is the version the studio released. And this has tons of reshoots in it. And there's not really anything like... Like, it has the core of the John Woo movie. But, like, remember that scene where the guy goes off gambling with those villagers? Like, that's not in the original movie.
That scene was so weird because, like... They've been, like, fighting all these, like, people up until then, and there's, like, a 10-minute scene.
So the plot
where he's just gambling.
The plot of this movie is that there are, the Golden Triangle, which is, it's like Cambodia, Laos, and Thailand, I think. It's, like, in between those countries, or Vietnam,
That's
maybe.
where Rambo went ham.
It was at that time before... the Afghanistan area took over, like the number one producer, I think, of heroin in the world, right, or illegal drugs or something like that.
Yep.
And so the Thai government hires these mercenaries to go in and take out this general who is running like a lot of the drug operations. So that's what, the mercenaries are all like Chinese nationals, right? They're like trying to get U.S. green cards, they're trying to get a bunch of money or whatever. And so they go in and they kidnap this guy, and then they get trapped in. They're trying to get to the border, and they're like trapped, and
on like all sides.
Yeah, and the border is guarded by these Vietnamese communist guys, and they accidentally have a run-in with him. They shoot the colonel of these communist guys. Yeah. So he's coming after them. The general's people are coming after them. The colonel goes and like basically threatens to kill this entire indigenous group of people if they don't send their warriors to try and kill these people. Yeah. And it's just like bloodbath mayhem, basically.
It's very violent. There's a whole, like, this violence is crazy, and there's people being shot and stabbed and blown up.
Having their eyelids sewed open.
It's weird, though, to me, because, like, there's scenes that are so, like, cruel and violent. Like the scene where the little boy, they're putting gas around him, and they're setting it on fire.
It's a very disturbing scene.
It's disturbing, right? But then he buries himself under...
Spoiler alert.
Spoiler alert.
They try to burn this kid,
And he buries himself underneath it so he doesn't die. But then he goes from that scene to him like wiggling his feet and his dad pulling him out. Everyone's happy, and I'm like, these two scenes don't seem like they go together. It's like it went from like a dark, cruel movie to like a buddy comedy.
John Woo is like very sentimental.
Yeah.
So like very often you'll see like people, like in The Killer in the church scene, like the two, Chow Yun-fat and Danny Lee are like being buddies and joking and stuff, and then they kill like 90 people or something like that.
That's definitely in there. But I enjoyed it. The journey. It's like a really easy movie to watch in the sense that like it feels really quick. It's
like
short.
89 minutes.
It's 89, and it feels quick because it's like it starts with action. There's like a couple funny scenes. There's a bunch more action.
There's like a weird... Yeah,
there's
so
some
like,
nudity, and then there's a bunch more action.
There's like an orgy, which John Woo did not shoot. There's the gambling scene, which was... The gambling scene is ridiculous.
The game is weird. You just throw dice, and you try to
whoever
get
gets the highest roll wins.
That's not really a game.
And he's competing against like these local villagers, and the chief wants to compete against him, and he's betting like a golden Buddha and all this heroin.
And he keeps winning.
And they keep threatening to kill him.
But the best part's like he's like praying to God that he loses because he doesn't want them to kill him, and he keeps winning. And then his solution is to just drop a bomb and kill like 20my people,
and then run away.
And most of them had nothing to do with anything; they were just watching. He just murdered like 20 people and ran off and didn't care at all.
Oh my God,
it's amazing.
It's true, and again, that's not one of John Woo's scenes. So it's one of those things where you're like, okay.
John Woo's movie would be like 35 minutes.
The lead in this is played by Eddie Ko, he's actually in Lethal Weapon 4, and he said that he was never asked to come back for reshoots. They only brought in those like two side characters. So like the scene where the guy is collecting gold watches from dead bodies, that's like a reshoot.
So I wonder if they kind of did that just to pad the film a little bit because it's pretty short, even with those scenes.
Yeah, but it's weird to me that like because the if you look at there's a side by side comparison of like the version John Woo was working on and what they released. If they're trying to cash in on the success of A Better Tomorrow, why wouldn't they release John Woo's version of the movie since it existed and they had it? It's just weird to me.
Who knows?
Anyway,
still check it out.
Yeah, so I mean, this Blu-ray set, especially if you're interested in the movie and the history of the movie, is awesome. And like I said, I will be doing a review just of this, so I'm gonna tell you all about the stuff that's on here. I had never seen this movie in high definition before. I'd seen a film print of it, and I saw it on like VHS maybe years ago.
It did look good.
But it looks really good, yeah. And there's 2 audio tracks, so you can watch like the old school audio track, which Mike maybe turn off right away. And because, it sounds like you're watching like an old Laserdisc copy of it, or like VHS or something. It sounded normal if you're used to that. But Hogg only likes the most pristine. Even though he doesn't even pay attention to the movie.
I paid attention. There's that orgy, and then there was that one old Vietnam friend guy. There's plenty of paying attention to the movie.
But then there's like the remastered like cool audio.
It sounded good. It looked good. So this is the way to see it.
This is 88 Films release. My name is Will.
And I'm Mike.
Don't forget patreon.com/terribleinfant, and we will see you next time.
Adios.